Hello, it's Judith here. There's been a bit of a change of heart at Therapies for the Mind, and it's been coming along gradually, but today was the catalyst for that change to be implemented. I've always operated the policy that my posts on Facebook should be non-contentious, not likely to upset anybody. And I've probably thought, even if there was something that might upset somebody, Facebook posts are a bit like the newspaper on the bottom of the parrot cage the next morning. So, not many people are going to see this. Now, I would like a lot of people to see this video. And if this resonates with you, I would ask you please to share it as far and wide as you possibly can. Now, before you switch off quickly, this is not going to be a rant. I am intending to act in the way that I'm asking everybody to act, and that is with kindness and love and compassion for ourselves and for other people. So it's definitely not going to be a rant. And the reason that I'm recording this video today, which is the 25th of May, is to do with the two main news topics of the day. 19 children between the ages of 7 and 9, I believe, have been killed in the States because an 18-year-old was able to go into a gun shop and buy a gun. And in this country, of course, the continuing storm in a teacup, some people think, about Partygate is still going on with the publication of the Sue Gray report. Now, I can't watch a lot, but the little that I did watch this morning showed an interesting contrast. I saw Joe Biden talking in what felt to me from his heart, talking in a very eloquent way about what it feels like to lose a child, the fact that part of your soul is taken away. There's a hole inside you that never ever gets better. And he should know because he's lost 2 children. So I really felt that he was speaking from the heart when he when he said it was time to stand up to the gun lobby. I was then appalled to hear somebody say that restricting access to guns, which is a constitutional right, is not going to solve the problem. The answer is that there should be armed people on every campus, which horrified me. Can you imagine taking your 4-year-old child or grandchild to school for the first day, walking through the gate past an armed policeman? Yeah, as I say, horror. It was my response to that. But it was Joe Biden who really, really got to me, who really struck me, that he was being open and honest and sharing what it felt like, showing compassion to those parents who'd lost their children. I then turned over to our Parliament, which was the news at the time, to a lot of bluster about how we got Brexit done and were the first people into Ukraine, and a lot of raucous shouting, which sounded to me very much like a drunken gang of people out on the streets at night from behind him. And I turned it off because I just could not bear to watch. And I'm sure there'll be more, and I will watch more. If I come back and feel in my heart that Boris Johnson has spoken to me, and I really believe that he is sorry and things are going to be different, I promise I'll come back and say so. My expectations are not terribly high at the moment. Where is the kindness and the compassion? I know these things are often quoted, and it's easy to just, oh, that old thing again. But can you imagine losing a parent or a partner or a child before their time, and not being able to spend every single minute with them and be there to hold their hand when they died. Can you just imagine what that must be like? And how many people did that happen to? How many people are still suffering mentally and physically as a result of COVID? So it's not for me that they broke the rules or they risked the health of their loved ones. That's their personal responsibility. It is for me the lack of care, respect, thought even for what people have suffered and are still suffering, still grieving for the people they've lost, still many, far more than I think we realise, suffering from the effects of long COVID, not able to get back as the rest of us are to a normal social and working life. And the many, many people suffering with mental health, which is obviously the area that I'm most concerned with. Particularly, I would say, our children and our young people who have lost important, not just mental, but emotional and social development phase stages as a result of what's happened. The number of times they were away from school or had no teachers because they were away from school or whatever. Huge effect on a whole generation of people that I feel is dismissed or made a mockery of by what we're hearing about and have been hearing about for some time. And then comes the question for all of us, what can I as an individual do about any of this? Well, I personally am saying to anybody that gets to watch this who is in any position to make any kind of difference, to look very, very closely into their hearts and think very, very carefully about what they do and to make their decision with love and compassion and care for other people, which is what I believe many MPs go into Parliament for, but it seems to get lost along the way. So if that speaks to you, just really think, feel from your heart with compassion. For the rest of us who don't have apparently any power, what can we do? I think we can also look into our hearts and try to act with love and care and compassion to those around us, even in those very difficult relationships when it's really a hard thing to do. But we can also do something every day that is very, very easy. We can make eye contact with people and smile at them. We can chat to people we meet along the way in a positive way. The person who's putting our groceries through the checkout, ask them how they are. What sort of day are they having? Just normal, natural things. You don't know the effect that a smile or a short chat can have on somebody. It may just make the difference to their day. It may make a bigger difference to them who are perhaps feeling lost and alone, just to know that somebody cares enough to speak or smile. And that may have a ripple effect on the people around them. And it costs us nothing. Actually, it does even better than that because it makes us feel better. These, generally known as random acts of kindness, lift us as well as the person that we are being kind to. I was talking to somebody last night and he said he never says goodbye to anybody without saying something positive like, have a good day, enjoy the rest of your evening, things like that. Simple, simple things, but said in a very positive way to uplift that person. And he says, I do it partly because it lifts me up as well. It makes me feel more positive. As human beings, we're prone to negative thinking, and the more that we can do to change that to positive for us and for other people, then I believe the better the world is. So we can do something apart from rant and rave on social media, or just refuse to watch and pretend it's all not happening, or any of the things in between that. There are things we can do to have an effect. So, as I say, if this resonates with you, please share it. And I'm sending love, kindness and compassion to everybody who watches this, and I hope in some way your day can be uplifted. And thank you very much indeed for watching. Bye.